What inspired the idea was when I first originally started writing my book, I envisioned it where I get all sorts of clientele that come in my chair, and I get to hear the most amazing stories from every individual person. And I feel like, I interview people every day, all day, every 30 minutes. So the idea came about of being able to interview the everyday people of everyday life, and just finding the ordinary, beautiful people and finding out what they're unique and special in, because we're all special and we're all talented in something. How's your day today?
Hey, not too bad, man. It's a slow day. I'm off, and that's the best part about it.
You have any gratitude for the day?
Any gratitude?
Yeah, like 3 things to be gratitude.
3 things. All right. So first one, I would say, one, I'm glad my dad's back. Traveled overseas for about 3 weeks, so I'm glad he's back and safe.
Nice.
Second thing is, still happily married to my wife, so I'm glad that things are still
That is a blessing.
as if it's the first day.
I love it.
And last thing, it's gratitude for you, man. I'm glad to have met you 15 years ago and, still have our friendship be as strong as it ever was.
Isn't that crazy? 15 years.
I know, right?
Yeah. I've known you like my junior year, freshman year of high school.
My freshman year was our first class together, our 7 a.m. business class.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
So me and you kind of started off wanting to be in business, as long as I remember.
That's true, you're right.
And if I recall right, you used to own your own business.
That's correct.
Now you're in corporate.
Now I'm a corporate man.
So you want to give the viewers a little bit of an idea of what the experience of being your own business owner and then being in corporate in a sense. What are the 2 differences, and what would you want to be in
I would definitely say working for yourself, you gotta make the business happen. So whether that's through marketing, advertising, or just being out there in public and letting them know who you are and what you do, I think that's one of the biggest aspects of owning your own business. And then second of all, one of the biggest benefits that I miss a lot is the flexibility. So yes, when you're in your own business, the customers make your hours, but also at the same time, you're able to afford, flexibility throughout the day, whether you need to go do something else, take a small break, whatever it is.
Sure, it's kind of hard to do that in corporate. Huh?
Yeah, you really can't do that in corporate at all. I mean, I'm finding myself now working pretty close to 13, 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I kind of have a hard, that's a hard pill to swallow, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no doubt. And they claim, hey, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, but you really find yourself doing it for 6, 7 days a week. So
very true.
And then you're hungry to grow higher and faster.
But in corporations there's a peak, I believe. You know what I mean? There's not much you can grow into other than what they've already set for you.
I would say if you're sticking to that one company or that same job for a period amount of time, yes, you will hit a wall. And the only way you can grow is if you learn as much as you can and then take that experience to another competitor, to another industry, and just continue to grow from there.
How did being self-employed help you in the corporate world?
It helped me understand people and how to, interact with people more and manage the people as well. I think because of those experiences over the years, helped me become a better and more alert manager in the corporate world.
I love that. So what do you see yourself doing in about 5 years, let's say?
In 5 years, I know for sure I'll still be in corporate, probably for the same company as well.
Is that since you have a contract with them?
There is a contract, but to me, I see there's a lot of financial potential if I continue to stay for those periods amount of time. But probably I would say by the 6th or 7th year, I'd probably go back to small business again.
Okay. Now, if somebody did want to get into a field that you're in, and you want to tell them what you're doing in a sense in the corporate world, how would they go about it getting into
Yeah.
a field like yours?
So never be afraid, especially if they're first timers coming in. Never be afraid to accept, something lower than a manager position, I guess. If you can get some kind of lead or some kind of indirect role or, subject matter expert, understand the business before you actually dive into it and become a manager. People don't realize what it takes to be a manager / leader in the corporate world. I mean, you are responsible for every single person that you interact with. You are responsible for their, for their stability and their understanding and their career projection as well. So if people don't understand that now, it's probably best to be in that indirect support role in the beginning stages and understand what it takes to be and what it means to be a manager / leader.
So I'm gonna ask you, what would you want to do after you get out of the corporate world? You want to go back into like a small business, or do you want to get into like real estate?
Yeah, I would definitely say small business, whether that's real estate or money service business, kind of like how I did in the past.
Okay.
Or just, find some partners who have some archaic idea that sounds so totally out of this world that, they need somebody to help fund or give them direction. I think that would be fun as well.
Nice. What'd you graduate with?
So I graduated recently with my master's in business administration and a concentration in supply chain management from Arizona State in Tempe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting that to work right now through Amazon.
It's very few that use their degrees.
I know, right?
And to be honest with you, I really did think that when you were going to school and you owned your own business, that you definitely would not use your degree. So I'm really kind of proud of you in a sense.
I mean, that's exactly what happened when I graduated my undergrad again at Arizona State. And I never used my degree per se, but I still stayed relevant in the business world. So it's a nice change of pace to actually use this degree to benefit others as well.
I love that. So what do you got going on for the rest of the week?
Rest of this week, man, just work. That's all.
What's that?
Today's my off day.
I love it. So I caught you on an off day today.
You caught me on an off day. Yep.
So what you and the wife are gonna do today?
Me and the wife. I don't know, man. We almost every weekend we're always somewhere. We were in San Diego the last weekend, Sedona the week before,
Nice.
Kansas the week before that. So
Okay.
we're everywhere.
Love that. Hell yeah. What would you say 3 things to a happy marriage would be?
Definitely start off on the right foot with goals. The two partners are, not aligned with goals and what they see at each other for the next 40, 50 years. I think that's a recipe for disaster. Second thing is communication. There are at times where, things get a little tough, I guess you could say. Life kind of, gets in the way. But as long as you're able to communicate with one another, it makes things a lot easier. And then I would say the last thing is just continue to have happiness. Because again, life does get in the way, work does get in the way, And if you don't continue to have happiness and that love for each other, at the end of the day, there is no love or marriage.
That's true. What are some things that you do to keep yourself happy? Because, happiness is not something that everybody does super well.
That's true. It all depends on personality, I guess. I mean, you always have to look, what's the one thing that a person can actually keep in their life, and that's joy. So
It's true.
joy is something that, it's always going to be with you. And, the only way that joy could ever get away from you is if you give it to somebody else. So that's something that you just have to keep to yourself.
I totally agree. It's like, I heard a story one time and it was like, the guy was telling me, he's like, one of his students came to him and he was mouthing him off like left and right, and the teacher was like, didn't allow his like behavior or his vulgar speak affect him at all. And he was like, he told the students, because the students came up to him and said, why didn't you kick his ass? Because you could have easily laid him the fuck
Sure.
out, kind of thing, right? And he's like, look, he came to me with a present, you know, and he wanted to dump his present. And I chose not to accept this present. So who really walked away with the present in the end? He goes, they understood that, you know, the guy that walked away that wanted to originally leave his present or the chip on his shoulder, he wasn't able to leave the chip on his shoulder. He had to take the chip with him. So he was more miserable the rest of the day because he couldn't leave.
That's the biggest defeat right there.
For sure. They're completely done. What do you think of your haircut?
Looks perfect, man.
It's fabulous or what?
It's always going to be fabulous with you around here.
I agree. They do call me Mr. Fabulous.
Too bad the barbershop's not called Mr. Fabulous, right?
Yeah. I love the fact that it does have fabulous in it, though. There's so many things I could do with that. That's for sure. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I know you don't like the razor. I usually give my clients the razor.
I hate razor.
You know, I know you got sensitive skin.
I do.
Even though you're Arabic, usually Arabics have, you know, tougher skin than you do.
Well, they're also darker in complexion too, so.
It's very true. I totally agree with you. I'm gonna go get you a nice hot towel.
Sounds good, man.
A nice massage to finish you off.
Oh yeah.
Love it. So, what would you want to tell yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I would definitely say stay focused with the way I'm thinking I should be headed. Always be open for new opportunities as well. That's really, you know, the main key thing is don't get so sucked up into just one world, I guess.
I agree.
Because at that point you'd be narrow-minded and you might miss out on quite a bit of opportunity in your life.
So, do you believe that pulling triggers, in a sense, is a key factor to success?
Calculated risks, just remember that. That's always a key word. I always remind you, calculated risks. You have to understand exactly what you're getting yourself into and whether you see yourself believing in the product or, you know, the service or advice that you're getting into.
You know, I agree with you. I heard something really amazing this weekend, actually. And the guy said, you have to be okay with whatever you do and whatever you take with the failures that come with it.
That's exactly it.
He goes, don't look at the success. He goes, you gotta be okay with the failures that come with it. And I was like, damn. I was like, I never thought of it that way. I was like, it's the failures that you really gotta be okay with, no matter the path that you take.
Exactly. We're always happy about the wins, but are you going to be content with the losses that might come with, you know?
That's true.
'Cause I bet you out of the 10 things that you do, you might be successful in one thing and lose 9 times. So
Totally.
can you keep yourself motivated to get that one win or that one positive experience through whatever you're doing?
Yeah, so they say Jordan, you know, they don't talk about the shots he missed. They only talk about the shots he made.
I don't know, man. According to YouTube, it's only shots that he made, so that's what makes him look damn good, you know?
But he missed more shots than he made. That's the funny thing. Well, Gene, it was a pleasure.
All right, thank you, B.
Hopefully they'll tune in for the next episode, right?
Hopefully, man. It's been a good few episodes now, and I'm lucky to be a part of it as well.
Me too. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching Fabulous Reality, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
What you been about? All the time we spent apart, they got me healing now. Yeah, if I think about it, I just write it down. Fuck their thoughts, man, that shit'll never work.